I don't believe in destiny. I prefer to think that we are free. But my last name, Quirarte, means hands of art. And I feel it carries the essence of my connection with the creative world. When I was a child, sometimes my parents had to turn off the light at night to get me to stop drawing. After a while, they would hear noises and come back, and yes, there I was, drawing in the dark. For me, drawing goes beyond just moving my hand. It's something that comes from the heart. I drew before I spoke. It's my way of being authentic. As a teenager, I was lucky enough to meet José Luis Cuevas on a flight to Mexico City. Imagine my surprise seeing him sitting on the plane. During the flight, we had the opportunity to talk, and he told me with that passion that characterized him, "Never stop drawing." That encounter with an icon of Mexican art was an unforgettable experience, and obviously, I followed his advice. Art doesn't offer us answers. Rather, it raises questions and makes us confront our reality. Artists show us the world from their point of view, as if they were lending us their eyes for a moment. They make us see things we had never imagined before, to open our minds and understand the world in a new way. Being an artist is an act of faith, because to create, you must first believe. In the canvas of life, every line matters.
Fer Quirarte is a multidisciplinary artist. What does multidisciplinary mean? He masters the art of leatherworking, handbags, footwear, jewelry, interior design, painting, sculpture, writing, illustration, drawing. Beautifully. Every day, every passing year, I am more amazed by his work.
Some European millionaires hire her to read them stories. Yes, just as you heard. Adults gathering in castles to listen to stories. That's what a Spanish illustrator told me. It got me thinking, you know? Because theoretically, they have everything, right? But in the end, we all need to nourish ourselves with stories, don't you think? And speaking of stories, something that has always caught my attention is shadows. I believe that we all have lights and shadows. Nothing is black or white. Everything has its nuances. And when one accepts and understands those shadows, that's when one truly knows oneself. That's what my story is about. The dog who ate his shadow.
He's a very special person to us and to Guadalajara.
Recently, I've embarked on a new adventure as an independent author. By self-publishing, I demonstrate the courage and bravery it takes to believe in oneself. This is how I arrive at Art Self, with a collection of stories that aid in self-discovery. Art Self is an invitation to uncover the power of your own voice and the magic of creativity. It's an invitation to explore who you are and who you want to be. It's as if each story were a mirror, showing you a part of yourself you may not have known. Later on, I created the book I never wanted to make because it's the book that has cost me the most work. I reached the place where tears are born. Life is a constant mourning. It's full of cycles, of farewells, and we must overcome them to keep moving forward. I researched and found that crows have a farewell ritual very similar to ours, and this inspired me to create the book titled The Light in the Shadow. Art teaches us to find beauty even in the darkest shadows and reminds us that every story, no matter how difficult, deserves to be told. This helps us heal. Stories unite us. Mexico is my favorite color. On the last day of my first trip to New York at night in Times Square, I thought, I don't know how or when, but the next time I come will be as an invitation to an exhibition where I participate. It sounded very abstract and distant at that moment. It was truly a dream. But you know what? I achieved it. And it was incredible because it happened several times. I was selected as a winner 6 times in the American Illustration, American Photography Latin America Edition contest. The first time was quite a challenge since the theme was open, and I had no previous references of winners. It was the first time the contest was open to Latin America. But I trusted my intuition and decided to talk about topics that are relevant to me, like my culture. So I presented a new vision of traditional Mexico, and it turned out to be a successful choice. I created a story about the moon falling in love with the beauty of Mexico. Imagine, she alone in the vastness, everything dark, and then she looks at Mexico, jealous of our colors. That's how my book, Huipili, a embroidery of stars, begins. The moon, dazzled by the colors and magic of our land, decides to capture her amazement in a huipil, where each stitch is a spark, each thread a star, turning this garment into a true treasure. Thus, the huipil becomes the reflection of the stars that the moon sees in our land, a garment full of meaning. As Tokyo 2020 approached, artistic swimmer Nuria Diosdado reached out to me to propose a design and art concept for the team's outfit at the Olympic Games. I drew inspiration from every splash, from every figure merging in the air and reflecting in the water, where the spirit of Mexico shines through, full of color and music. My task was to design a new skin, full of life, full of Mexico. As you see in each creation, I aim not only to convey the beauty of our culture, but also to awaken in each person the connection with their own roots, reminding us that art is the bridge that unites our hearts with the world around us. Sometimes dreams seem very distant, but when they are worked on and come true, that's when everything is worth it.
Chloe has a superb artist with all the talent we see here. Fer Quirate's abundant talent. And every year, a piece intervened by an artist comes out. That's why I say Fer Quirarte is part of the family. His piece was extraordinary. It was from a few years ago. It was an extraordinary piece, and one of the best sellers. It was very well liked. I'm very grateful to Fer.
Now more than ever, there's an effort to make art more accessible to everyone. And that's great. It means more people can enjoy art in their everyday lives. Let me tell you something that fills me with pride. I imagine you're familiar with the fashion brand Chloe. They have stores in practically every airport in Mexico. Well, within their Chloe Gallery platform, we developed a limited edition collection titled Birds of Paradise. I was inspired by typical Mexican textiles. You know, Mexico is my favorite color. It was a very comprehensive collection that ranged from sneakers to handbags and a backpack. And as I was saying, Chloe has stores in almost every airport in Mexico, so thanks to that, the collection literally flew all over the world.
We are delighted here with Fer Quirarte, with whom we have worked spectacularly well. In the meetings we have had, the concept of art has flowed very well, because it's not easy to work art with a commercial theme.
When Maria Victoria took my arm, very excited, and whispered, "Fer, I'm nervous." Without thinking, I replied, "I'm the nervous one being by your side." That has been one of the most special moments of my life. This happened when the journalists and photographers approached us at her tribute, where we presented her with the jewelry collection I designed.
Our dear Maria Victoria received a very well-deserved tribute at the film festival in the city of Guadalajara, Jalisco.
Maria Victoria is one of the great divas of Mexican cinema. And when the Jalisco Jewelry Camera and the Guadalajara Film Festival asked me to create a collection for her, I began researching her life and career. In an interview, she mentioned that she gave her book as a gift to her friends and dedicated it to them. Immediately, I went to find it, and on the day of the event, with the book under my arm, I told her, full of excitement, that I would love to be her friend. That's how she dedicated it to me. Maria reaffirmed something to me. Beyond professional achievements, what really matters is the person. Humility and simplicity shine much brighter than any career. Speaking of careers, when Laura Pausini celebrated her 20-year career, I painted her. I made a representation of her from the Mexican perspective so I used pink as the background, her face in the center, and around it, strokes inspired by handicrafts. The night I presented it to her, before her concert, the first thing she did was ask for a photographer to capture us and preserve that special moment. Currently, the painting is in Italy. Art brings us together beyond borders and connects us through creativity and emotion. I've been able to pay tribute to the greatness and determination of contemporary Mexican women with the portrait series Palomas de Mexico, Doves of Mexico. They not only fly high, but also walk with determination and leave an indelible mark on their careers. These women excel in areas such as politics, art, communication, and fashion, showcasing to the world the Mexico we are proud of. Each portrait is infused with the essence of our crafts, with typical embroideries, papel picado, and the characteristic colors of our culture. For me, art is a thread that connects hearts and transcends borders. The greatness of humanity lies in humility, connection, and shared inspiration. We are all one. Did you know that doves choose their mates and stay together for life? It's undoubtedly a symbol of fidelity in a world where everything changes so quickly. They teach us that true love is enduring, and that inspires me. I'm always struck when I see doves all gathered together, as if they're gossiping about something juicy, and walking around carefree as if to say, "Don't worry, everything's fine." It's like they remind us that despite our differences, we can all coexist peacefully. They also show us that, even in the midst of the chaos of the city, there's always room for tranquility and connection. And suddenly, when their conversation ends, they take flight, as if someone told them the party's moved elsewhere. They demonstrate to us that in life, there are always new adventures to discover. Doves find fidelity in enduring love, peace in coexistence, and excitement in new adventures. In every flight, every conversation, every step, there's always a path to beauty, connection, and hope. That's why they inspire me. Jewelry is like carrier doves. They carry something special, a desire, a promise, a commitment. When I started designing jewelry, I pondered what these pieces really mean. That's why I believe they're like carrier doves. We live in an increasingly digital and virtual world where our lives are surrounded by screens. However, jewelry still plays an important role. They're like an anchor that connects us to our humanity, our roots, and the world around us.
He is a great artist. Fer Quirarte, always adding his great touch, his beauty, his style, his colors, and of course, always with Mexican culture at the forefront.
Have you ever noticed how fashion can be much more than just pretty clothes? It's like a form of art in motion, don't you think? It allows us to tell the world who we are, what moves us, and even how we see life. Clothing goes beyond just covering our bodies. It's a statement, an expression that speaks of the society we live in, our times, and even the state of the economy. It inspires us, invites us to dream, drives us to take risks, and above all, it gives us the freedom to show the world exactly how we want to be seen. Pop culture is like the soundtrack of our lives, isn't it? It's the music you listen to at the gym, the Sunday afternoon series, or the movie that makes you laugh. But beyond entertaining us, pop culture plays a crucial role in our society. It reflects our values, our dreams, and our challenges. It unites us in a shared experience, connects us with people from all over the world, and shows us that despite our differences, we have a lot in common. Pop culture is a reflection of our collective identity, a mirror that shows us who we are and where we're headed. When I was a child, there were roosters and hens in the backyard. Every morning, I went to the chicken coop for breakfast. I still remember the pecks from the hens. It was a special time. However, as a young man, once in Paris, I went to the Japanese embassy because there was a calligraphy exhibition. I was struck by the strength of the stroke, the handling of the ink, the movement, and the freshness of the brush stroke. Right there, I bought some brushes and ink. Back in Mexico, I started making some strokes to become familiar with the technique. and by instinct, memories of the roosters came to mind. Their strength, their courage, their vital impulse, all of that I sought to reflect. Because for me, roosters are more than just poultry. They are symbols of determination, strength, and the raw beauty of life itself. Roosters remind us of the promise of a new day and the opportunity to start over, with hope as our compass and courage as our guide. True freedom isn't in the distance we travel, but in the love with which we do it. That's what horses teach us. When I see them trot, I imagine the rhythm of life and that they tell us every step counts, and every moment is an opportunity to grow. In their presence, we find the strength to heal, the wisdom to learn, and gratitude for the simple beauty of life. In the gallop of horses, we discover that true freedom lies in connection with our surroundings and in surrendering to the present moment. They remind us that in simplicity, we find fulfillment and our purpose. The social poster is a powerful tool of visual communication that uses striking images and direct messages to convey social and political issues. The importance of the poster lies in its ability to summarize complex ideas into simple images that allow for reflection and invite action. In a world filled with words, the silence of a social poster can be more impactful than any speech. They remind us that a picture is worth 1,000 words and can be the catalyst for change.
It's a poster that says a lot. It has the symbol of light. Light is hope. It's a perfect poster. It's a biennial poster.
Have you ever been angry, so much so that you almost see smoke coming out and the world seems hopeless? You talk to a friend and they make you laugh, and with that smile, they disarm you and you start laughing together. Suddenly, you begin to see things more clearly and a possible solution to the problem arises. Well, that's the power of humor. Humor and caricature are a breath of fresh air amidst daily stress. They allow us to address serious topics in a light and entertaining way, giving us a break and inviting us to reflect without being too serious. From political issues to pop culture, they make us laugh and think at the same time, reminding us that not everything in life has to be so complicated. Sometimes, the deepest truth is found in the subtlest comedy, don't you think? Photography is my way of stopping time, of capturing the world as I see it or as I would like to see it. It's as if I paint with light and intention. My photos are little stories. When I was in Paris, I thought, what will I remember? What image has caught me the most? And without hesitation, I thought it was the window of the room where I was staying. I didn't grab my notebook and pencil. I grabbed the camera and captured my room with the view from my window overlooking the Eiffel Tower. That got me thinking about the importance of windows as they frame us. It's not just about what you see, but how you see it. Windows are accomplices, you know? Each one has its own story to tell, its own play of lights and reflections that make you think about themes like hope or freedom. It makes me reflect a lot. It's as if those windows were the door to something greater. If the eyes are the windows to the soul, could the window be the threshold of destiny? When I paint live, I feel the emotion and energy flowing through me. Each brushstroke becomes an echo of the environment around me, a blend of colors and emotions. It's an authentic, raw, and vibrant experience. It's as if each stroke is a heartbeat of art, palpable to everyone present. It's a dynamic experience where the soul is nourished and the spark of inspiration is ignited in each of us. For me, live painting is a dialogue without words. In workshops, we've laughed, even cried, and of course learned. We've made new friends, which is why I enjoy giving workshops and sharing my experience. It's not just the opportunity to teach, but also the experience of learning from the students. It's a constant exchange that enriches us mutually. I believe being an artist goes beyond technical skill. It involves having a unique and authentic voice that we must nurture and share. Being part of the editorial boards for culture and social affairs at the newspaper Mural within the Reforma Group was a great experience where I could contribute suggestions, enriching perspectives, and evaluating the newspaper's work. This opportunity allowed me to connect with other opinion leaders and experts, contributing to cultural and social issues. Additionally, I collaborate with publications in various media, promoting art and culture to different audiences. At the end of the day, art and creativity are about connection, connecting with our own creative voice, but also connecting with others and nourishing each other through workshops, classes, collaborations, publications, through the exchange of ideas. The artist's journey is filled with challenges, from the fear of the blank canvas to the constant battle against the insecurity that paralyzes us. Throughout my career, I have learned that each work is a unique challenge, both technically and emotionally. However, experience and self-awareness have become my allies in this flight. As we progress on our creative path, each experience shapes us uniquely, transforming us into new versions of ourselves. I have learned to confront moments of blockage with more confidence and determination, recognizing that each challenge overcome represents a victory in my journey as an artist. I accept that fears and doubts are part of the creative process, and that overcoming them is essential to achieving excellence in my work. My life is a flight filled with art, where I seek to capture my experiences, and respect for nature and culture. From painting, fashion, social posters, photography, caricature, jewelry, or design, my commitment is to beauty, authenticity, and humanity. I want my works to move you, awaken you, and make you see the world from new perspectives. For me, the freedom to experiment and follow my intuition is fundamental. I explore various styles, step out of my comfort zone, and strive to be a more interesting and non-repetitive artist. I believe that diversity in art is essential to capture the complexity of life and challenge our self-imposed limits. My work reflects the diversity and depth of the human experience, connecting with the soul of each individual. I am excited about the future and committed to exploring the transformative power of art. Life is a story. Make yours the bestseller. Remember, the most important thing is not what the artist says, but what you feel when you see their work.